Support my content by becoming a patron on patreon.com/JaianMusic. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. We are now in the 50s, episode 50, and I have my amazing co-host with me, Hotshot. How's it going, buddy?
It's going. It's cold. It's very, very cold.
This is ridiculously cold. February is a harsh month, but we are here. We're back. A new episode of Anime Podcasters, episode 50. Very happy to be here. Today, what are we doing for 50? We're going to be doing a big Q&A special. We have a bunch of audience questions we're going to get to very shortly, and I'm excited to be here with you. All right, so let's get into this topic today before Hotshot triggers me off the podcast. So we have all the questions. It's going to be a short trigger. We have all these questions we're going to get to.
Arakonara?
On the Discord.
Yes,
Arakonara left all these questions on Discord a few months ago, and I never got to them. And I'm telling myself, Ara, all the questions you've asked, oh my god, let's answer them. Let's answer a few of these questions. Go ahead.
Ara, I'm just going to call you that. Ara asks, do you think anime is more popular outside of Japan? I'm going to say yes.
I think if you're comparing Japan to the rest of the world, the population is much more immense, and anime is obviously something that's present in many other countries outside of Japan. So I'm going to have to agree with that. The other thing is, to me, we have obviously anime when it comes out, it's subbed. And then we have English subtitles, and it's distributed across the internet, across DVD releases and everything. And then we have dubbed anime. We have simulcast and everything like that. So in my opinion, yes, the anime is obviously going to be way more popular. The entire world versus Japan, the entire world.
Now, obviously, like in Japan, anime is a majorly big deal, at least from what I've been led to believe. Like, there's way big conventions and anime characters that are beloved and everything else. However, when it's brought over across the world, especially us in the States, we go absolute fangirl mode whenever it's one of our all-time favorite animes that we see. Like, take the recent Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, for example. It was only in theaters for about 3 to 4 days, and in that short time frame, it made #1 movie in the US just because of how loyal a fan base is to that series.
And like, I think Dragon Ball
like Jaden said, there's a much bigger audience count outside of Japan. So I think what Japan does in like sheer intensity, we kind of make up for in sheer numbers.
Fair enough, but the other thing I wanted to mention too is I think Dragon Ball specifically is that anime that popularized the anime, just anime in general, for North American audiences. You know, when Dragon Ball came over to North America, everyone was crazy about it. It was booming, it was popular, and I really feel like that specific anime really just pushed people to find out more about, there's other shows like this. And then we have Shonen Jump coming in with the big three, obviously Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball. These are big popular animes. I mean, One Piece is the anime with the most episodes ever, right?
And it's still going.
And it's still going, right? And I think it's a testament to the popularity of Dragon Ball. Of anime in general. Yeah.
I think One Piece, like, on One Piece specifically anyway, is on, like, 1069, and it's still going. They still have yet to find the damn thing.
I know, right? Have you seen that meme where it's someone wakes up from a 20-year-old coma and something, and they ask you, has Luffy completed One Piece yet? And they're like, no. Okay, I'm going to go back in my coma now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, wake me up when I can buy the complete series for all of my life savings.
That's literally what it is. All right. So, actually, we have a One Piece question I'd like to get to jump to. Are you good on the first question?
Yeah, because in short, the answer is yes.
So Eric Minson asks, why does Sanji smoke? So obviously, Sanji, the character from One Piece. Why does Sanji smoke so much?
I mean, I think it's just to give him the aspect of, like, that cool kind of character. Like, he has that aesthetic of, like, the cool bad boy, but then once, like, kind of like Yamcha in a way, like, when you first meet Yamcha. But then whenever he meets a girl, he just completely melts. And I do want to point out that in the original release, yeah, he does smoke, but when it was distributed, I want to say to 4Kids, or over here in the States, like, when it was on a kids program, Yeah, I think it was 4 kids. He's sucking a lollipop instead of smoking.
Oh, good old the childish
Good old
version.
4 kids, yeah. But I want to say it's just to sell that aesthetic. Like, he's not a really stressed guy. He's always like cool most of the time. Like, he's never really worked up unless someone gets his fire going. But it's basically just a design choice. It's just to sell the cool and calm bad guy type look that just fawns over the girls.
Literally, in my opinion, it's two. You boil it down to two things. Number one, it looks badass. It just looks cool, and it just gives him that
Yeah.
allure. And second of all, smoking is an addiction. So obviously he's addicted because he hasn't quit. So that's why Sanji smokes. Like, I can't go much deeper than that. That's it, right?
I mean, that's what I'm going for, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a cool look. It's nothing matters. Like, it doesn't matter to him in the long run. Like, he can flick out a cigarette, he can start a cigarette. It's just like one of his quirks, one of his things that he does for the crew or on the crew. It's not really a big life-changing thing.
I'm gonna go smoke these cigarettes, and I'm doing this for your good.
I'm doing this for you, Luffy. I didn't ask for that. I asked for me.
Don't talk me off the ledge, Luffy. I got a cigarette in my. I'm gonna light it up. I'm gonna.
And then, have you ever noticed? Actually, speaking of Sanji, whenever he does light a cigarette, his is always bent.
No, really.
Like, it's always crooked at the end.
Well, I mean, that just adds to the aesthetic Hotshot, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, that's like his. Actually, in most anime in general, where the characters smoke, it's usually bent.
Not every anime.
Most. Like, Wolfwood's is bent, isn't it?
I did not pay that much attention to Wolfwood's cigarette when I was watching. Honestly.
I mean, Wolfwood's my favorite character, so.
Yeah, I actually and like, oh wow, big shocker. I rewatched what was I gonna say? I rewatched Zanki no Terror, and like Shibazaki's a smoker in that anime, and I don't think his cigarettes was bent.
All right, are we good on Sanji smoking?
Yes, we are. We are good. Go ahead with you choose the next question, homie.
All right, this actually kind of goes along with the One Piece theme too, that I kind of want to get into. Kalian Moscato. Kalian,
yeah, my little brother.
Oh, okay. Little Jaden, answer your question. Do you believe that such a high episode count doesn't respect the time of their viewers?
You see, I was reading this, and I genuinely don't get it.
So do you believe that such a high... So, basically, like, a show that keeps going, like One Piece, for example. Like, just keeps putting out new episode after new episode after new episode with no end in sight. Do you think they respect the time of their viewers, or do you think it's just kind of a, hey, we're gonna keep putting this out because you keep watching it, so just sit there and watch our crap?
So here's how I feel about that. It completely depends. It depends if it's all filler trash or if it's all amazing. If it's all filler trash, no, that's like a lack of respect. Obviously, that's just wanting to make more money off your fans. But if it's just really good and there's always there's constant character development, new arcs, just like I feel like Dragon Ball is an anime that does it really well. Yes, there is filler, but there's definitely a lot of solid gold in there where you want to watch all of the episodes really badly.
Right, because I mean, if you take Dragon Ball as a whole, like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, yes, I'm taking that, and Dragon Ball Super.
No, don't take GT's not even. It's not canon. It's not.
I don't care if it's canon. It still exists. Let me get through my thought. I hate
GT.
I'm destroying GT after I finish my thought. So let me finish my thought.
Okay.
So Dragon Ball as a series in all is still going. It still has like countless episodes, and it's still going on its newest adaptation, Super. But when you get down to it, it is still Dragon Ball, and it is still going. GT is exactly what Jaden just said when it came to like filler crap, like no one really cares because yeah, it's been decided that is no longer canon, and even though the fights, like some of the fights are kind of cool, GT is just absolute crap. So obviously at that point, yeah, they don't care about the time of their viewers. They're just like, you're just going to keep watching, so we're just going to keep going. But then when they start pumping out Super and it just completely spins it around, it honestly depends on like the intent of of that kind of fandom and that kind of company. Because Dragon Ball I honestly do think does care. One Piece, I think does care. Those are honestly the two. Pokemon, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think they care anymore. I just really don't. I mean, for one, Ash is still 10, and that's a
He's
problem.
eternally youthful. Like I am very much jealous of Ash Ketchum, because Ash will always be young forever, and I'm turning 25 this year. Like, stop it, Ash. Stop it. You're making me mad.
Right? It's just like, look, either tell me how you're forever young, or let a new trainer step up and grow up.
Literally,
Like,
literally.
hell, become the next Professor Oak. Or something.
Right now.
Like, right now. Like, you can stay 10. I don't care. You're still
No,
obviously...
he's gonna be 10, and then he's gonna be 10, and then like 70 years later, he's just gonna turn 80.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Like,
here's the thing,
skips
though.
his 20s,
Like,
skips his 30s.
Well, here's the thing. In like the latest Pokemon, he meets up, I believe, with Dawn or May, and they say it's been years, and he's still 10, but he still remembers like all the adventures that all of them have had. Honestly, in answering Lil Jaden's question, I think it really just depends on the product, and it depends on like that series as a whole. Like, some of them don't care, some of them do.
Very much so. And when you were talking about the newest Dragon Ball series, this is one is in canon, but have you heard of the all magical, mystical Dragon Ball Heroes, Hotshot? Have you heard of that?
Just fucking stop.
No, have you heard? This is a legit
series. I have not heard of it. No, and I think.
Do you want to hear more about Dragon Ball Heroes?
No, I really don't. Please.
Okay, so basically, it's this like
up.
I think it's an OVA.
I will go out of my way to come up with a Black Star exclusive question if you continue.
Watch Dragon Ball Heroes and subscribe to PewDiePie.
Alright, why is Black Star best girl? Well, let me tell you.
I'm dying. Oh my god. I have to pick the next question, but I'm dying.
You have one snow day, and I think you're already subscribing to Cabin Fever.
Yes, very much so. I have not left my apartment all day.
You're already losing your mind. And that's how I spend most of my days off.
Podcasting with me. All right, so next question.
All right, you're up.
I actually want to go back to another one of my brother's troll questions because it's really good. Calvin asks as well. He asked a bunch of questions, so I'm gonna go through this next one. Do you find that animes are oversaturated these days? I wonder. There's two ways I can see this question. The first one is by season, like when a new season of anime comes out, the winter season or the spring or the fall, whatever. There's just so many that you must be a massive anime nerd to watch all of them, right? Or do you take that just in general? Like, we have websites like My Anime List that have like thousands upon thousands of animes that it's just ridiculous the amount. I think that the answer is yes, Hotshot.
For oversaturated?
Yes, there's just so many, right?
There's a lot of them, but then, yeah, like, if you're the ultimate anime fan, then obviously, yeah, you're just gonna watch after watching after watching. But then if you're just a casual anime fan like me, I don't think so, because, yeah, the sheer number of anime is absurd, because, I mean, it's animation done in Japan. Like, that is the textbook definition of anime, just animation done in Japan. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of it, because that's their style. That's what they do. I mean, there's a lot of our shows too, though. Like, there's Gravity Falls, Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob. There's a lot of animated shows no matter where you go. So really, everything, when it comes to numbers, everything is kind of oversaturated.
Oh man, it's this thing where I love anime. I'll always love anime, and I was like going over my stats of anime, and I've honestly watched too much anime in my life. I really feel that way. Like my anime list is a site that like obviously takes all the animes you've ever watched. How many days do you think I've watched of anime, Hotshot? I just want to use this. I want to use myself as an example just to talk about oversaturation. How many days of anime? One anime episode is 20 minutes long. One movie is an hour and a half. Out of all the animes I've ever watched, how many days of anime have I watched?
I'm gonna say about 12 years.
Okay, come on. Like, now it's whatever the answer is. How many days of anime? Come on. Like, you really think I've watched 12 years of anime? 12 years of anime. That's half of my life. You think I spent literally half of my life sitting and watching a show?
Yeah.
That's mathematically impossible, okay? scientifically proven. You're frustrating me. Okay, scientifically proven that we spend at least a third of our life asleep. So I spent a third of my life asleep, and then the other half watching anime. Quick maths. You're giving me about 17% of the rest of my life I spent just like doing stuff, and no.
Okay, fine. You want the actual mathematical thing that I think?
Yes.
1/3 of your life you spend sleeping. 1/5 of your life you spend going out and doing your other stuff. 1/4 of your life you spend doing anime, and then the rest of it you spend doing the podcast.
Okay, I'm just okay. I've watched a total of 63.8 days worth of anime. I'm just gonna say because you obviously can't math.
I can. It's just you watch anime and talk about anime. Everything you do and breathe is anime. So
No,
of course
it's not.
the number I'm gonna pick is absurd.
Okay. How many episodes have I watched all together? How many episodes of anime ever have I watched?
23,563,482.
I actually hate you right now. You're actually Hotshot.
Yeah.
Come on, get it together, homie.
I am. You everything anime.
You are so highballing me. Stop it.
But if we're including
Pick the next question. Pick the next question. Pick the next question. Pick the next question.
Jacob Tremblay asks, "Why is Shrek 4 such a great anime?"
Well, somebody once told me, Hotshot. By
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Shrek 4 isn't an anime, and I
No,
have
it is
watched
not.
Shrek 4.
That's just no. Shrek 4 is not anime. Cory in the House is not anime. It's just there are things that are categorized as anime, like especially on streaming sites and websites, that just make absolutely no sense why they're on there in the first place. Like Cory in the House is categorized as anime for God knows what reason. But then like something that could honestly almost be considered anime, such as Avatar, Last Airbender Avatar, is not. See,
I don't know.
Now that's some bullshit too. So
I'm sorry. I'm gonna trigger people. I consider Avatar to be an anime.
I mean, I do too. But when you get down to the technicality of it, it's not.
I know, but it is.
I know, and I agree with you. I know it's not, but it is. But at the same time, that just leaves it as it's not.
That I don't know what else to add to Jacob's question. Honestly, that was just kind of a weird question.
That's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, though, just because of how many categorized non-anime are considered anime.
If Shrek 4 were to be an anime, what's the plot here?
The plot is Shrek. What one is Shrek 4? I don't even remember.
Oh man, I haven't seen it in forever.
Shrek Forever After, I think. Oh, I think that's the one where he goes back in time, never met Fiona, and everything else.
Yeah, it's the Forever After one. Yeah, that one wasn't as good.
No, they kind of stopped trying after 2. And they should have stopped trying after 2.
I wanted to get to this next question. This question comes from Landon Karuak. Hopefully I said that properly, Landon. Best way to watch anime. So, when you watch your anime, Hotshot, how do you watch it? I want to start with that.
Honestly, okay, so the actual way I watch it is I will put off watching anime because once I start, I legitimately won't stop. And that's exactly what I'm afraid of, losing literally all my time to whatever I'm watching.
So why don't you just do very short series? Like, remember when we made that bet and you lost and then you had to watch Zankyou no Terror? How did you watch that?
I binged it in 2 days.
Do you see? So you can binge it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So shows that I absolutely love, like I love Hero Academia. That is absolutely one of my favorite animes.
Yeah, it's so good.
I start watching that, and yeah, someone will have to pry the controller away from me and turn it off. But if someone throws on a show that I don't like say, unfortunately, I didn't really care for Zuko no Terror, for example. I binged through it, but at the same time, it's kind of binge through it to end it quicker. But then the other one is binging it because I can't get enough of it. So I am a binger. It's just like my reasons for binging differ wildly.
That's a fair enough. Like to me, I've been watching a lot of my anime. The way I do it is just on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'll have some sort of snack and I'll just watch it in bed. That's it. Like that's the classic. But then when I really want to watch an anime like and just have full quality, I'll get my hands on the DVD. And then I'll slap it in, and then I'll just like watch the full animation, like super high quality audio, like best version of it possible, and that's like a great way for me to watch it. I like when the anime is really worth it. Like example, Zenki no Terror. Like I watched that on the DVD, the Blu-ray, and it was so good. So to me, it depends on the quality of the anime too. Like if I really like the anime, like I'll go out of my way. If I don't like it that much, I just want to watch it, I might just Crunchyroll it.
Okay, so speaking of that, actually, so the way that I watch anime, like I actually watch anime like the way I get it on screen, usually just because of Kyo is actually streaming, like through Funimation or whatever. But what I will do is if it's an anime I'm even remotely curious about or I've looked into and I like what I see and stuff like that, I will actually go out and buy. So I actually have a lot more anime than you expect me to actually have.
Did you say you had like a pile of DVDs you never watched of anime or something like that before?
Something like that, yeah, because I have the DVD set of Future Diary, for example. I have the DVD set for Devil's a Part Timer. I have the complete series of Squid Girl. I have Monster Musume. Like, I have a whole lot of them, and it's just a lot of them I haven't even watched a lot of, but they're still anime that I have.
Right.
Like, obviously, I'm not going to start collecting the DVD sets for One Piece because that would just take all my fucking money.
Oh my god, you would be broke.
I would honestly just be like I don't want to say that, but that's what I would be doing to get money to get more One Piece.
In my opinion, I just find that when I'm in a relaxed state of mind, and yeah, okay, two things actually. When I'm in a relaxed state of mind and I just had a long day and I just want to like relax before going to bed, like watching anime is just a great way to do it in my opinion. And then when the series is so good, I'll keep watching it. And like for me, the platforms I watch my anime on mostly are Netflix and Crunchyroll. Yeah, actually, entirely those two. If it's on YouTube, I might watch it too because sometimes the anime is on YouTube, which I find to be kind of crazy. But at the same time, if uh, the person or the company who has the intellectual property the rights to that anime and post it on YouTube and allow it to be on YouTube, then I'll watch it there, right? Because it's monetized and it goes. It's important
Yeah.
to support the official release, right? So long story short, in my opinion, I find like platforms like Netflix and Crunchyroll specifically make anime so bingeable where everything is just queued up so well. Where it's like, okay, I'm done one episode, and then the next episode just starts playing, and you're just already watching it, which makes anime consumption and binging such a immense factor in just watching anime in general, in my opinion.
Most and I will say like usually I do use Netflix or Funimation to actually stream my anime, but my personal favorite is to actually have the physical disc of the anime because again, if once you get going you're a hardcore binger like I am, like you just don't really see the point in stopping once you're going, then it's kind of good to have that DVD because once the DVD ends, then you actually have that break of like, do I really want to watch more?
Right. That's fair.
When it's streaming, you're just watching like next episode coming up, and then all it is are you still watching Kill la Kill? And then it's just like, yes. DVD at least it's actually like I have to stop the DVD, grab the DVD. Like yeah, it sounds incredibly lazy, and it is, but at the same time, it's also a stopping mechanism.
It really is, and it's important. Like you don't want to overconsume too. You just like I'm not saying like binging anime upon hours and hours. Like there's healthier things to do, obviously, with your life, like going outside and stuff like that. But at the same time, I love it so much that binging is just a really fun thing to do with anime.
It is, yeah, and I will admit that. But at the same time, you get into a series that's really good, you just don't want to stop. And if you don't have anyone there to stop you, that's what it comes down to.
100%. Do you want to pick the next question? Go ahead, my friend. My
All
best
right.
friend ever in the whole wide entire world of anime.
I'm already podcasting with you. What more do you want?
Everything. Now go ahead.
Why do some people hate on the popular anime? And he is one of those.
Okay, this is a really good this is a really good question. Here's why I think people hate on popular anime. Because they feel like this specific series, like let's take
Naruto.
Naruto. Naruto's a very popular series. I obviously it's so popular they continued with Boruto. And why do people hate this series in particular? It's so popular it overshadows other series that people find them to be just as good, and people wonder why is it that this specific anime is getting so much love, taking away attention from this X series. Because the thing is, anime is very opinion based. Every viewer will have a favorite anime, and every other viewer will have an agreement or disagreement with that opinion. So when you see one anime overtake and overshadow your favorite series, when I personally think, I don't know, what's the less popular? I would
Zuko no
say,
Terror.
yeah, obviously I talked about it. So Terror in Resonance is a much better anime than Naruto, in my opinion. I've enjoyed it way more. That being said, Naruto is way more popular. So am I gonna? Will that make me hate Naruto specifically? No, because I understand that difference of opinions. But some people will be like, "Oh, it's trash just because it's so popular. You guys aren't seeing the bigger picture here. It's just very general. Obviously, you like anime, you like Naruto. That doesn't make you a real anime fan. It's very opinion based, and I think that's what people hate on very
Yeah,
popular
and
animes.
you're 100%
That
right,
yeah.
and I agree with you 100%. It does just come down to opinion based. Probably more of a closer match to Terran Resonance. Sorry, I kept mispronouncing the word. I'm sticking with the English name. Terran Resonance is a much closer fit to say Death Note, because Death Note is a way popular series, and people love it. People actually have like Death Note notebooks that they carry around. People understand like the apple and everything else. Terran Resonance, you don't really see anyone like just walking around like quoting it or anything like that. Like they just watch it and then it's just done. Obviously,
Mhm.
there are fans who like Terran Resonance more than Death Note. Now, I know I just said that I don't really care for Terran Resonance, but I do like it more than Death Note, because Terran Resonance I've actually finished. Death Note, not gonna happen. So it is one of those things where it just comes strongly down to opinion, like, or even if they think it's just too mainstream to like, and they just like the indie ones or the harder ones to find for anime. Like, say you like again, say you like Terran Resonance more than Death Note. I know there's multiple options. That's just the one that keeps coming to mind. And it's just one of those, I don't like this because it's way too mainstream. Everyone talks about this. Why isn't no one talking about this? Like, it's just one of those battles. And everyone's going to have a side. Everyone's either going to defend the mainstream one or their less talked about ones. And it, yeah, when you get down to it, it's just opinion. And if you like it, great. If you don't, also great.
I definitely agree with what you're saying here. And the other thing also that I think is important to say is that voice actors and producers and directors, when you have a popular director, a popular producer, a popular company making an anime, most of the time it's going to be bigger than a independent studio making an anime. And I think that some people are there's a bit of this hipster mentality in anime where, oh, have you ever heard of this specific series? No, always from this like independent studio that just started working on this anime. These first time voice actors, blah blah blah, and that making it you're one of the first original fans and you really enjoy it and you enjoy it more than the very popular mainstream stuff will make you feel like you have more of an allegiance to those very I guess more underground series, and make you appreciate those underground series more, so you're not gonna have this a similar feeling for popular animes. There's so many variables here that are at play that it's so hard to find one specific answer. I think that what Hotshot and I have described here, any what's the word I'm looking for here? Any not connection. What's the word? Any combination of these elements can really make it so that you hate an anime or you love an anime. Is it my
I
turn to
mean,
pick a question? Yeah.
honestly, it was just like reinforcing that. Yes, I don't really have anything else to add. You kind of said
No, all
everything
good,
I
all good.
had.
Yeah, all good, all good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take another question from Era Canara. Thank you so much for these questions, Era Canara. By the way, these were left almost 2 years ago on my Discord, and I'm getting to them now. But I'm getting to them, so it's all good. So
Better late
maybe
than
more
never,
like
I guess.
more than like a year and a half, but whatever. All right, so why are animes more popular than mangas? This is the age old question. Seriously, manga and anime have always shared the same domain in a sense, but rival each other, and most of the time people buy the books and read the books, but way more often people will just watch the series.
There
Why is this
are
the case?
there are honestly multiple answers to this question. Like, anime is the actual animation is more easy to access, more accessible. You can you can just watch instead of just reading, which a lot of people do with like movie and book adaptations anyway. You can just listen, just watch, and the books you have to go out and buy individually, and the DVD sets or streaming sets you can honestly just throw on and just watch it through that one fee. So honestly, it's cheaper, it's easier for a lot of people to do, and honestly, I think here in the States, some people are still confused that they read from right to left instead of left to right. So there's that problem for everybody. And it's honestly just the for in my opinion anyway, it just comes down to accessibility. It's just easier to like throw on anime than it is to go out and find the manga.
Okay, I agree, but I have a bit of a beef with what you're saying here, in the sense that accessibility, yes, obviously anime is very accessible, and you can there's streaming websites. I would even chalk it up to piracy. Obviously a lot of people go on illegal streaming sites to watch their anime, and they don't want to like pay the original creator. But you can also do the same thing with manga. A lot more people can read, a lot of people can just download the PDF or whatever. I've seen a lot of illegal sites where you can just download the manga that you want to read, and they go ahead and they do that instead of actually watching the anime. What I think it comes down to, I just think that people enjoy watching more than reading. It's literally less effort. You know what I mean? You just stand there and look. Reading is, you have to take the time to read all the pages. Like, it sounds so stupid. It's such a it's a minimal task, but streaming is just a little more minimal than reading. So I think that's what makes it more popular. What do you think?
I mean, I think both of us are honestly kind of right. Like, yeah, I do realize that there are online manga, and I do realize that there's streaming and everything. It just honestly comes down to that argument of, like, what do you like more, watching or reading? There are going to be those loyalist manga fans, and there are going to be those loyalist anime fans. Watching is easier than reading, and there's also those other points I brought up with it being cheaper and with it being like easier to access. Like, manga, even though it is online, you do still kind of have to search for it in spots. And anime, you can honestly just like throw on Netflix or Funimation or Crunchyroll. Like, you're constantly thrown all these ads that are streaming services that honestly have a lot of anime. So you're constantly thrown in those directions. With manga, you actually have to go and search.
I see what you're saying, but I just feel that I now that I'm hearing you speak and express your opinion, I really think that going back to the accessibility thing, there's I think that there's how can I say this? Anime is just more accessible and more popular. It's just more widespread, and there's more streaming sites than sites where you can download manga, obviously, and that makes it way more easy for the consumer, and so that's what makes it more popular.
Like,
Plus,
it doesn't
no, go
come
ahead.
down, honestly, if both of them were like the exact same ease of access and easier to go to and everything like that. If they all had the exact same opportunities, it would honestly be a lot more spread. It's just the fact that anime as a streaming and everything else gets thrown at you in advertising and everything a lot more than the streams, the sites, and promotions for the actual manga.
100%. And another thing I want to add, just like as an anime fan and as a musician and audio engineer, there's an entire experience that you don't get with the manga, which is the soundtrack and the voiceover and the sound design. The underscore here that we get when you watch an anime, it's more of a fuller experience because of that.
But with the manga, you use your imagination. I like using my imagination.
Okay, enough with the SpongeBob references. Get to the next question, Hotshot.
More of the SpongeBob references.
Go ahead. You choose the next question, homie.
All right, let's see here. This question is from Ara again. Why is the anime community growing so fast?
Man, this one's a really good question. The anime community, to me, has been growing so fast because every day more people come across the art that is anime, and every day more people find they come across it and they just watch more series, and there's always new stuff to watch. There's always new series, there's new podcasts talking about anime, there's new YouTubers doing videos about anime, there's new conventions, there's new cosplays, there's new anime soundtracks, and it's this entire universe that I love being a part of. And so personally, I think that's why, because there's just always something to it. There's always something happening. There's never a dull moment in this like community.
And with anime, there's also a much bigger diversity than there is with, like, say, Western animation. Because, I mean, they're a lot more loose when it comes to, like, homosexual couples, for example. And they have a lot more, like, kid-friendly or, like, mature-only shows. They have, like, all these diversity aspects being thrown into it, that it's honestly kind of hard to ignore that. Like, there's something for everybody. Like, if you're a guy like me and don't like, say, Death Note, but you fall in love with One Punch Man or Hero Academia or Assassination Classroom. Yes, I'm naming mine, so what of it? But, like, even if there's some shows that you don't like, there's going to be ones that you do, and with the community that goes along with it, they are a lot more accepting than they are with, say, like, oh, I don't watch Game of Thrones. Like, it's just one of those. It's a lot more accepting. It's a lot more welcoming. There's a much bigger well of respect in that one, in my eyes.
I agree with that, but I also find that in general, the anime community, and I don't want to stray too far away from the question. It's this thing where a lot of people feel like because they've watched more anime or because they have they're a YouTuber and they cover more anime and they just have experience with anime. It's kind of that thing where people like puffing up their chest and being like, "Oh, I know more about you," blah blah blah. And this like I think it creates this like anime nerd prototype where people who fall under this prototype love talking to it about it, and they always vocalize it, and the more people talk about it, the more people hear about it, and it reaches more people across the entire board. So just in general, just because this product we consume, it influences us all in a different way, and some people might just keep it to themselves, and some people might make a YouTube series about it, or some people might talk about it with their friends. It just really depends, and it's this thing where we're all different and we all watch this series and we all enjoy it for different reasons. That makes it so it blends all together and popularizes it.
And as a final point on that, in the way I see it anyway, even if you turn out to be not be the biggest fan of, say, let's just come up with a more recent anime like Dragon Ball Super or Hero Academia, like, even if you're not a fan of any of those, and you can still look back and easily find the like icons of anime from back in the day, like Speed Racer or Sailor Moon or the original Dragon Ball, or like there's all these early ones that you can actually go back and watch like very, very easily, and you can easily see the growth of anime throughout the years. When it comes to different producers and everything else, like Western animation, for example, it's honestly a little hard to find the ones like the earlier cartoons and see how they've grown, because they've just being so drastic, so wildly different. And in anime, you can very easily see, like, this is how far they've come in so many years. And other corporations just kind of have, like, you changed, but that's because, like, you're just... I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is you can see the history of anime and thus probably have a bit more of respect for.
It's all about the history. History anime lessons by Hotshot.
Now that's a sentence you didn't expect to hear today, isn't it?
That should be your next YouTube upload.
Anime history by Hotshot?
Yes.
It's gonna be like 5 minutes, just like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the history of Sailor Moon between that and One Punch Man. And it's just like, it's good. And that's it. That's all it is.
I would watch that.
You'd watch it like about 20 million times.
Yes,
all my
I would
views
watch
are just
it.
You.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Subscribe to Hotshot. All right. I have a question I would like to get to. It's a funny question. I don't think it's going to be much of a long discussion, but I just wanted to answer it. So this question comes from Tama, and Tama asks, "Why you Kakarot?"
I'm gonna say yes.
Why?
I don't have a reason. Just yes.
I think Tama in this situation, what Tama is doing is he's Vegeta, right?
So we have to answer back as Kakarot then, right?
No, he is Vegeta, and
Right.
Goku becomes the Saiyan first. Why Kakarot and not Vegeta? He's the Prince of all Saiyans. Obviously, this is what we're being talked. This is what it's referring, right? What
And
are
I
your
think
opinions?
I have a legit answer.
Go ahead. I want to hear this legit answer.
Vegeta already views himself as number one in the history of all things and everything that ever will be and that ever are. Goku knows there's other people stronger than him and wants to train to overcome them. He knows there's still a way to go. He knows he can still grow and exceed. And that honestly is the spirit of a fighter instead of, I am number one. I am number one. The spirit of the fighter is constant growth and looking for more difficult challenges to overcome.
I don't agree. I do not agree.
Okay,
Vegeta knows he's sick and fiddle. It's obviously widely known that he's always going to be number 2 to Goku. So him thinking he's number 1? No. Him being prideful and acting like he's number 1? Yes. Do you see what I mean? It's different things. It's two very different things.
Yeah, he knows he will forever be a second fiddle to Kakarot, but
not forever. One day he will surpass him. That's what motivates him, Hotshot.
That's what motivates him, yeah, but he's living a lie in that case. But my point still remains.
Oh, you savage. Oh, poor Vegeta.
Right? But my point still remains, like, when Vegeta is first debuted, he still views himself just as number one. Like, Kakarot is just, you're just a lovely second warrior, and he doesn't admit that Goku is forever stronger than him until way later.
Right?
So he still has that pride and, like, true belief that he is number one and no one will ever succeed him.
But he doesn't, because he knows that Kakarot is better than him. The only moment where he's really stronger than Kakarot is when he steps out of the hyperbolic time chamber with Trunks, and he's like, okay, I'm now stronger than you. And then Kakarot's like, okay, good for you. Go defeat Cell. And obviously we know how that turns out. And then Kakarot comes out of his hyperbolic time chamber again, and we obviously know that Kakarot is way stronger now in comparison to Vegeta.
So why Goku, you ask? Plot relevance?
Yes, I don't know how we got to this point, but we did.
I mean, you said this is going to be one that like takes like a three-letter answer, and we still exploded it.
Oh man, that's what happens. All right, that's all I had. Do you want to pick the next question, Hotshot?
All right, next up. All right, so this is from Little Jaden. The fact that some of them have hundreds of episodes, do you believe impacts the quality of animation and story development?
So the fact that some animes have many episodes, does that impact?
Does that impact their animation and the way that they're telling their story? I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna say yes, but most of the time it is for the better, because look at episode 1 of One Piece. It is very obviously like very roughly animated. And then when you compare it to like today's animation of like being smooth and sleek and stuff like that, like hell, even if you do just Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, like it's still that one continuous story of like Goku's journey, but they find different like story arcs to do. Their animation has gotten way better and way sleeker. Like in a lot of cases, it does work like that, but there are some cases where it's just like, okay, this is dragging on way too long. Kind of like our podcasts.
No, the best podcast ever.
Stop lying to yourself and me.
I don't know. I don't know. But in all seriousness, I do think that these episodes, obviously, when they drag out and they're taking forever, it really does affect the quality of the product, and it does. You lose a lot of viewers essentially when you do that, and it's a gamble because you can stretch it out and try to put a lot of backstory and impact the storyline and how the characters are built and everything. But at the end of the day, the more episodes you want to produce, the more your animators are gonna need to work, and the more detail. And if you want to extend it, just make it good. Make sure it's good quality content that's in there, and not just random filler that's gonna bore all of us. That's the key to it. It's a balance between quality and the quantity. That's it.
I mean, that is really what it comes down to. It's just like, as long as it's in a crew who knows what they're doing and knows how to do it well, you're in good hands. if you're in a crew that's just obviously very like running out of steam and running out of ideas, it becomes very apparent in the actual animation and in the actual storytelling, and then it just fiddles and dies.
Just like this podcast. No, okay.
Just like this podcast.
Well, let's just finish every insult we have and just insult our own podcast.
I mean, yeah, that way we can't get in trouble, right? Like, hey, you guys may be crap, but we're way worse.
Oh man. I want to go to this question. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, you're good.
Okay. I want to go. I'll do one more, and then you'll do one more. Is that good?
Yeah, that should be good.
Okay, so I want to ask this question by Chadwick Nelson, who asks, do you think Goblin Slayer is a good anime? Obviously, I have not watched Goblin Slayer, and you have not watched Goblin Slayer, I am pretty sure. Is that correct?
I have not. It is on my list, but I have not watched it yet.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to read you the first paragraph of the synopsis, and I want to see what you think of this anime. It's 12 episodes long. It's a score of 7.7 on my anime list. It's number 249 in popularity, so it looks pretty good, and it's recent. It's from last fall. So this is the synopsis. Hotshot, you ready?
Yep, go.
Okay. Goblins are known for their ferocity, cunning, and rapid reproduction, but their reputation as the lowliest of monsters causes their threat to be overlooked. Raiding rural civilization to kidnap females of other species for breeding, these vile creatures are free to continue their onslaught as adventurers turn a blind eye in favor of more rewarding assignments with larger bounties. So this is I think it's a group of heroes, soldiers trying to destroy these goblins, to slay these goblins that are basically just raiding rural civilizations, and they're just kidnapping the women from those civilizations to reproduce and breed and develop their species even more, which is pretty, you know what I mean? These goblins are not obviously depicted as the enemies of this series. What are your thoughts?
I watch it. I want to watch it. Mainly,
it actually looks pretty good.
It honestly does look really good. Like, I have seen bits and pieces of, like, action and stuff like that. The only thing that bothers me, and this is just a very personal thing, I don't like the name setup. Like, all the characters in Goblin Slayer are honestly called, like, what they are. Like, Goblin Slayer's name is Goblin Slayer. Sword Maiden is Sword Maiden. It's just, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, have actual names here, guys. Like, that's the only thing that bugs me. Other than that, like, I'm completely down for watching, like, just a complete slaughterfest of the goblins. But just give me names that I can, like, hey, it's Eric. I don't know, but give me something I can say instead of, like, it's Goblin Slayer. Like, no, give me a name that I can just, like, remember. Like, that helps me identify them, like, them. Yeah, their class does that, but at the same time, Sword Maiden, over here! It's just like, it's just kind of calling like, hey, barista, over here! Like, it's just kind of demeaning to me.
Fair enough. I feel like it's more of a simplistic approach, and I understand why that could be frustrating. But at the same time, that if that's the only thing that bothers you, like, you're gonna be fine.
If that's the only thing that bothers me, I'm in good hands, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
But again, this is coming from two people who haven't actually seen the show yet, so just take what we're saying with a grain of salt here.
Yes, but we're obviously podcasting anime experts that flex on everyone we puff off our chest, so our opinions are nothing but the most golden of opinions, Hotshot.
Woo, as it should be!
Yes. All right, Hotshot. Okay, here it is. The final question. We're kicking off the 50s with this question. This is the last question, Hotshot. I'm going to give you the option. You can pick any of the questions, or you can make up your own question. What would you rather do, Hotshot?
Or I can make up my own question.
Yeah, that we can answer right now on the podcast.
And this is a question for both of us.
Okay, so you're making up a question.
What was your very first anime?
Oh my god. Okay, it's good. We're both gonna have the same anime, dude.
Are we?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Pokemon.
Digimon.
Oh, no. Your favorite anime was the ripoff of my first anime?
Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon.
Okay, I don't want to copyright claim. Listen,
it's me singing it. It's not playing the footage.
No, the YouTube copyright system is ridiculous, okay? Some people, like, I don't know if you saw this, but there was this YouTuber called Mr. Beast who said 2 words and got copyright claimed because people thought it was another song. Like, this, I'm not taking any chances.
Okay, fair enough. You can just beep that.
I'll just censor it out. No, okay. Your first anime was the ripoff of my first anime, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Then you're a ripoff of me.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Hi,
are a ripoff.
I'm the cuter one.
No. Yeah, no. My first anime was Pokemon, definitely, and I watched it in French, and it was like it was the hype, it was the best, and then I got the Pokemon cards, and I would trade them at elementary school, and then here I am, a couple of years later, many years later, podcasting about it. Good times, homie. What about you?
Mine was Digimon. I actually had a Digivice.
Or just a Vice in general. No, I'm kidding.
No, I actually had a Digivice, and I like hooked it on me, and I took it everywhere with me, and I loved it. I had Patamon on it. It was amazing.
How to get bullied 101. I'm kidding.
How to get bullied 101. Yeah, that actually is kind of what happened. I got bullied, they took it, and they smashed it.
Oh, dude, that sucks. That actually sucks.
I was upset. Then, actually after Digimon, then I actually started watching Pokemon because I couldn't find Digimon for some reason after that.
And which one did you prefer?
Digimon. I love Pokemon, do not get me wrong, but I love Digimon. I just love the aspect of being in digital world.
It's like picking the ripoff. Like, the only thing they did is take Poke and replace it with Digi. That's what they did.
Are you sure that one came first?
I bet you anything. Google it right now. Pokemon came first.
I am Googling it right now.
Okay, Google it right now. I'm telling you right now, Pokemon came before Digimon. Pokemon is the original idea, and Digimon is what ripped off Pokemon. And that is why you're going to be once again proven wrong on this very podcast, Hotshot.
Hey, I never said Digimon came first, because honestly, I'm kind of with you. I think Pokemon did come first, and Digimon.
Okay, well,
I'll
be extra right. You'll be extra left.
You'll be extra right. I'll be extra left.
Just like Google Pokemon release date or something.
Digimon original release date March 7th. Okay, so yeah, so March 7, 1999, and then Pokemon the series has been 1997.
Ha! I told you.
I never said it came out first. I just said, are you sure? But I just love Digimon a lot more because I love the aspect of the digital world. I love the fact that they're Digimon are actual like companions instead of like, hey, go do this battle thing for me. Like, it's just, I love Pokemon and I always will. I just love Digimon a little bit more.
Pokemon literally enslaves animals.
Yep, and that's why I love Digimon more, because A, they're digital, and B, they're treated like people. That is an oxymoron if I've ever heard one.
I remember the very first episode of Digimon when they hide in the tree and everything. It's like a digital tree. That was pretty cool.
You're such a dick.
I know. I was genuine. Did I sound like I was not genuine?
You sound like you were just like, yeah, they hide in a tree, but it's digital, so it's cool.
No, kind of, whatever. All right,
You're such a dick.
Pick your next and last question. No, that was the last question.
That was
okay.
The last one.
All right. First of all, Hotshot, thank you so much for hosting this podcast with me. Seriously, we made it to 50 episodes. That's amazing. 50 more, Hotshot?
50.
Are we getting to 100? Are we doing 100?
We're doing 100. I don't know if we're doing it this year, but we're getting to 100.
Oh, that's my boy. All right. So go ahead.
But then 101 is just when I leave.
I mean, that's going to be a couple of years down the line.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Go ahead and plug your stuff. Let people know what's going on with your channel, your projects, Nostalgia Brothers, everything.
You guys can find me here. I'm no longer in the basement. I have been moved to the laundry room. I have been upgraded. And you can also find me over on my channel, Hotshot Ginger. I will be trying to upload more this year. I know I said that last year. This year I'm trying to. If I don't, I'm sorry, but I'm trying. And you guys can also find me over on Nostalgia Brothers soon, which is a podcast, which is a channel with me. A guest we've had here a few times, GoProkyo, and another friend of ours. I don't know his online name, so I can't say it. But we're going to be doing, like, Let's Plays, like, just couch sit-through Let's Plays. Me and the other guy are going to be doing some review stuff. We have a lot of projects in the work and a lot of projects that we have on our minds. We're just trying to execute on all of them to try and get a team going for us.
Right on. I remember you saying in a previous podcast that 2019 would be the year of the ginger. So I hope
I am hoping to stick true to that. And if it's not, then I'm just going to be looking like the biggest on the internet. So
Yeah.
I couldn't find the right word, so
yeah, that's what the guys. Yeah, I didn't cut anything out on that one. He literally went mute. All right, so I also want to plug and let people know about the amazing, the majestical, the talented, the artist for anime podcasters, GoProkyo. He is available for commission, so go check him out on Twitter at GoProkyo. He has very affordable rates. He does all the work for anime podcasters that we're working on with him on a special project. Me, Hotshot, and Kyo right now. That's going to be an original release. And actually, Hotshot, I want to talk to you about that after the podcast. So make sure to go follow GoProkyo. If you're looking for music or audio work for your projects, you can hire me on JaianMusic.com and leave us a review on iTunes for the podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/JaianMusic, SoundCloud.com/JaianMusic, and my Twitter is at JaianMusic, Facebook.com/JaianMusic for my Facebook page. And finally, I am on Patreon, patreon.com/JaianMusic. Thank you very much for all of your questions. Thank you very much for all the love. And we will see you all in episode 51 of the podcast, which I don't know what the topic will be yet, but I have so many topic ideas. I have like topics upon topics that I want to talk about with Hotshot. So don't worry.
Seriously, we're talking about getting to episode 100. He's already planned episode like 758. So
come on now. No. Can we make a podcast about digital trees in anime?
Yes, please. I beg of you.
All right, episode 51, digital anime
special
trees.
Earth Day edition.
Bye, guys.
Bye.